Hey guys, so I am sitting in a coffee house and I am just finishing the ebook, How to Bump Up Your Grade Crazy Fast. And I did some market research with my own college students, and I had several people come back and say, this is kind of last minute and you need to already have that foundation built up with your professor, because a lot of these tips involve having a connection with your professor. And that's absolutely right. And my purpose of creating the ebook was, what are things you can do right now in the moment to help get your grade up? But the truth is, the best time to start connecting with your professor is yesterday. And so I really felt like I needed to add this missing piece to the puzzle. So this isn't what you can do in the moment if you need to bump up a letter grade, but it's really more about how do you start off the semester right and how do you best connect with your professor. So I wanted to give you this as well to help set you up for success. You can go to crushcollegelife@gmail.com if you have any questions or comments of me, and I'll be glad to connect with you through that. But this is 7 things that you can do to already have that foundation created with your college professor. Number 1, sit in the front 2 rows of your class. I don't know if this statistic is true or not, but what I've been told is that the top 80% sit in the first 2 rows of the class. Now that means you're going to need to interact more, but what it also does is it creates that connection with a professor just because they can visually see you better. And then that leads me to number 2. In the first 2 weeks, you're going to want to interact and attempt to answer questions when no one else will. And as a college minister, I look at those students as the cleaners. And I really value those students, because when you have a question that people are afraid to answer and they're the ones to at least to attempt it, even if they're right or wrong, if they're really open about that and they guess, you're very thankful for them because they're keeping interaction happening, they're keeping things moving and helping everyone to learn. So make sure within the first 2 weeks you're interacting. Number 3, and this comes in the second or third week of class, you want to schedule 15 minutes and you want to check your syllabus to see when office hours are with your professor. And you can say, I'm really interested in this class. Could I have 15 minutes of your time? Most professors are very willing to do that if you show an interest in them or their class. During that meeting, you're going to want to let them, and this is number 4, let them know of your goals and struggles as they pertain to that class. Don't be lengthy about it, but you really want to be honest and upfront about what you're trying to get out of this meeting first. So just let them know of how this class is going to connect to your overall goals so that they can get a better picture as to who you are. Then number 5, you want to thank them for their effort and their time, and you want to do this from a place of integrity and truth. You know, you want to see the time and effort and energy they put into preparing for that class, and you want to thank them for the time that they've put in. And then number 6, you want to inquire as to why they are teaching this class to begin with and why they went into this field, and show some interest in them. And most of the time, if they are teaching that class, they've been led down that path and they're happy to talk about themselves and what they're interested in. And then number 7, you want to ask them what you can do to help them, to be helpful to them within the classroom, or if there's anything you can do to take some of the burden off of their plate within a class. Now be prepared to actually do something for them when you make that request, but most of the time they'll just be very thankful that you're willing to help out. So that's what you do to create the foundation at the beginning of the school year, so that when you get to a place where you need to bump up that letter grade, then you can use the checklist and it will be much more effective because that foundation's already laid. Wishing you guys the best success. I hope you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you later.